Hey guys, Eric here. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Before we tune in to the details today, I have one little favor I'd like to ask you. Are you listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify? If you are, and if you haven't done it already, it would be so helpful to Anita and I if you could leave a 5-star review. It could just be putting 5 stars or even writing down something that you really enjoyed and learned from the episodes that you've heard so far. This kind of help would really improve our ability to give you better content and also to help other people find out about Taiwanica. So if you wouldn't mind taking just a few moments to do that if you haven't already, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we really hope you enjoyed today's episode.
This is episode 51, talking about The Angry Teapot. That's Eric's new book. Hello everybody, welcome to Taiwanica. Today we will be introducing something new, something fun, something interesting to you. That is Eric Matthews' new book, The Angry Teapot.
That's right. Thank you for the exciting introduction, Anita.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy to be here on Taiwanica Podcast. You guys have a lovely studio.
You are one of our guys.
Oh, right.
Our guys.
I work here. Well, it's really great to be here again on another beautiful day in Portland today. It has very sunny weather and perfect temperature.
I love it. It's a little bit too hot, but I love it.
Also, as a fun special note, today was our son's first birthday photo shoot, which we will be sharing some of those photos on our Instagram. So definitely check those out. They are adorbs.
They are. You stole my line. I just wanted to say, yeah, they are super adorbs.
Yep. So let's go on and talk about this book you're talking about.
Yeah, I heard it's like a really fun book from this not so famous guy.
Well, he's trying.
I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, this new book that Eric wrote is all about anger issues and how to overcome them.
Yeah. Question first.
Yeah.
What inspired you to write this book?
Well, there's a few things that inspired me to write this book. Personally, one is because I used to have a lot of anger issues.
That's what I wanted to hear.
And also, the love of my life has a lot of anger issues. So I was trying to find a way
I'm so sure about that.
to convey those messages through a little story that I created and had some help creating. It was a great idea just to kind of give you a short story about how a completely unrelated person, or teapot in this situation, was able to, encounter lots of things that made it angry. I won't make any spoilers about who the teapot is and what's the actual storyline. If you're interested, definitely check it out. But the basic idea is that the story is for you to understand that going from being an angry person, then going through a couple of troubling events, and after going through those troubling events, realize new parts of yourself and how to overcome and maintain peace within yourself, even though something may cause you to be angry.
That's a really good point. I think everybody at some point in their life will have like this anger issue. Just like for some reason they just like feel so angry all the time and want to destroy things, and like it's all other people's fault or some other circumstances will happen. So this book is definitely a really good book to check it out. So what would you say would be the best like audience for this book, the reader?
Oh, well, anyone who is trying to understand their own emotional imbalances, or even teaching it to children, is a great source of people who would definitely gain benefit from this. That's actually the target audiences for these two specific groups. But the main reason why I wrote this was to help basically anybody who feels uncontrollable amounts of anger.
Would you share some of your most significant losing control, angry stories with us, and what you learned from it?
Sure. So I would be happy to. When I was younger, I had a lot of anger issues, mainly because I grew up as an only child, but I have lots of brothers and sisters, and they all had a big influence on me. But when they weren't around, I really didn't have any way to release my energy besides going out and doing exercise. And so whenever my mom, God bless her, being a single mother, would tell me to do anything, whether it was to clean the house or do my homework, I felt like it was an attack on me. Kind of felt like I was a victim in the situation. So I would just get mad because I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do. And then I would always think about my brothers and sisters. When they were around, they basically were free to do whatever they wanted because they didn't technically live with us. They came and visited us. So every time I kind of felt like a slave, and it made me feel very angry that it was a little bit of unfairness. And so these were little spurts of anger that I had at home, and that was actually the most common place where I would feel angry. But if it were to ever happen outside the house, it would be encouraged by my peers, young boys in their teens.
Who are so angry.
High testosterone. Don't
You can
understand.
smell it.
Yeah, you can. You really can. It's pretty stinky. And yeah, during those times, it was just really easy for us to all butt heads over the tiniest of things. And so these bursts of anger kind of became a habit. Because if I saw my peers doing it, it made it almost an excuse for me to do it too. So it just started happening more and more, and I didn't even realize that this emotion was actually taking control of me because it just became so natural. And I really didn't like that about myself, but I didn't know how to manage it. So that's kind of like the key purpose why I wrote this book, is for kids that age and people who still have this issue to kind of figure out that there are ways to manage these kind of emotions and understand that they aren't you. They are things that you have. That's, I think, the most crucial part of the whole entire book, that it conveys the message that emotions are things that we have or we possess for a certain amount of time, but they are not necessarily a part of us.
Yeah, very true. I think most of people just like, I'm just like this. This is me. That's kind of like finding excuses. But once you separate this, like the way you said, the emotion is what you have, it's not who you are. And then I think it's giving you a clear idea how to overcome this like negative emotion or the emotions that makes you feel uncomfortable. And you personally, like what happened that makes you realize that getting angry is started to become an issue?
I think it's when I started to enter university. That was a moment where I started to experience a lot of frustration and to people who weren't even close to me, because now when university, I wasn't living at home. I didn't have my mom to yell at. I didn't have my siblings to yell at. I didn't have all those guys, my peers who I went to high school with, to yell at anymore. And you started doing it to strangers. And I realized when their reactions were like, dude, you're really angry. Or, man, why are you so pissed? They would say these kind of terms, and I didn't realize that that's my attitude. I was really abrasive. I was really direct. I would tell them exactly how I was thinking, and there was no filter. And although that can be a very open-minded way of living, but if it comes from a very aggressive tone, then you push people away. And that's what I started doing to these new potential friends and people who I was going to class with at university. And I realized, whoa, this is probably something that cannot keep going if I want to be able to progress in the social world outside of my hometown.
That's true.
So because of that shift in my life, I was able to have that awakening. But if I didn't have that shift, I would have never realized, and I probably would still be as angry as I am, or I was.
That's true. Sorry. Thank you so much for sharing. I think my situation is also pretty much the same. Like when I was younger, my my parents are very conservative, traditional, and we were never allowed to express our feelings. And every time, we just kind of like piled it up for those emotions, and because my mom never allowed us to let it show, so we will wait. Me personally will wait. I will wait until it's like extreme situation and I'll explode. It's either do something, destroy things. I have so many things I've just destroyed, but by my bare hand when I was younger. Like I destroyed a phone with my bare hand and smashing a door, a glass, whatever. And sometimes it just came out with a very negative side of you. You're kind of like shocked, like where does that come from?
Right.
And then you just realize like this is not the person I wanted to be anymore. So I started to, face it. And also my anger issue also destroyed my relationships. With my families or my siblings or friends, I don't really have that issue because they are, always like that. They are just like getting used to it. But, your relationship outside of your family, outside of your comfort zone, like when you start working, you do your work. Like there was one time I was just so angry, I yelled at my clients and my boss was really shocked. And or sometimes I will yell at a stranger or something like that, just seeing something I thought it was injustice. I feel like I should step in, but
like superhero.
Yeah, sort of things like that. So it's kind of like, nah, I don't want to be like that person anymore. So I'm really glad that we have this kind of tools for people to, like, we both learned it the hard way. It doesn't have to be like that. So I'm really glad that Eric got the chance to write this book. There's a really, really good story behind it. I wrote the book, I'm just like, okay, that's really interesting. Like something sometimes happen and just the moment you can think about the way you're thinking, just one moment and everything could change.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting story. Anything else about this book you want us to know?
Well, I really like that it's a teapot.
It doesn't make sense, right? Just like what we say, it's like, we are supposed to be like this. Just like the teapot is supposed to be like that. Right?
Exactly. No, you understand it very well. So, the teapot, it gets hot, it boils, it makes a lot of sound when it's supposed to be ready, right? And so it kind of gives you the idea that, that even a teapot is naturally supposed to be designed to be this way, but this specific teapot did not want to keep on being like this. And not only did it teach itself how to overcome this thanks to its surroundings, but also started to share that knowledge, kind of like how I am with this book. And so I kind of feel like I'm very related to the teapot.
You are the teapot.
Yes, but in a sense, even though the character is a female teapot in the book, I still actually feel like that we are pretty much one and the same, because the way that I live my life now is to teach other people how to control their anger. And being a man in a family, it was almost considered normal to be angry all the time. And so I just kind of trying to break the norm with this story by saying that you don't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be like this. You can change your way you want to live by just doing a couple of really easy techniques, which are all laid out in the book.
So we talked a lot about this book, and could you tell us real quick where can they get this book?
Oh, sure. So the easiest place will be on Amazon. There is both a copy that you can actually purchase and it will be delivered to your home, or you can buy an ebook if you have a Kindle or whatever. Either of them are going to be on Amazon, and we will put the links on the Taiwanica description down below for you to check them out, and also make sure to let everyone know about them on Instagram. So definitely check it out. And all the funding goes towards making more books, which is actually the next thing I wanted to announce is that I'm planning on writing another book.
Wow, there will be more angry teapots.
It will be a little bit of a different story. Yeah, but I do like doing themes with creatures. So just give you an idea that the next book might be about a raccoon.
Ooh. No, I know about this one. The raccoon story. Also another lovely story.
And we'll share that story when that book is ready. But just stay tuned and get excited that there will be more to come.
I'm very excited. So if you really don't know where to get it, you can also go to our Facebook and Instagram at Taiwanica Podcast. Send me a message and then I'll just send you the link.
All right.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Well, thank you very much, Anita.
You're welcome. And we talked about the book, right? So if you have any questions, you wanted to get a copy, you don't know where to go or how to get it, leave us a message on Taiwanica Podcast.
All right.
Instagram.
Will do.
Yeah. And would you like to share some tips for manage your anger?
Oh, sure. Since we're on the topic, I'd be happy to do that to close this episode up. One of the best things that I've learned as a life coach and someone who is trying to manage his very complicated emotions, and Anita can definitely vouch for that.
So complicated.
But even though I'm very complicated in emotions, I have found many ways to be able to counter those. But these are not just special for me. They are universal. Everyone can use these techniques to be able to calm down. One of my favorites that I like to share with my clients is a breathing technique. There are a few breathing techniques out there, and all of them are valid. I just like this one specifically because it's extremely easy to remember, and that is the 7-Eleven technique, just like the convenience store. 欢迎光临.
欢迎光临.
Yes. So what is the 7-Eleven technique? So 7 represents your inhale, or when you breathe in. And then the 11 is the exhale, so it's longer. Like that. And if you do that 3 to 4 times, what happens is that your body is actually forced to calm down. And the reason for that is you're actually creating, the exhale creates a long enough time for your heartbeat to slow down automatically, just like a system. And so whenever you want to calm yourself, this is the easiest way to do it without having to do anything else. So if I ever get in an argument with Anita or get frustrated about our son always crying, or, just my cat giving me the ugly look in her eye, it could be anything. But all I do is just do this breathing technique and, where I usually would feel a whole entire day of anger and frustration, it just becomes a 2 to 3 minute passing of emotions. And so it's very effective.
That's good. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure. Do you have one that you want to share?
Yeah, I would love to. Like, whenever I got angry, I will... for me, I believe if you don't release your emotions on a regular basis, sooner or later you're going to explode. Doesn't matter what happened, doesn't matter what thing, doesn't matter what trigger it is, it's going to explode. So every time I feel like negative charge about things, I will always ask myself, like, why am I feeling like this? When you start asking yourself like this, you start to think about your emotions. So because your emotion is from your heart and your brain is, reasonable, right? So when you got too emotional, doesn't matter what emotion it is. Could be anger, can be frustration, can be sad, any kind of emotions like that. And you connect your brain to your heart. So you look at the emotion from a different perspective, and then your brain is able to step in to give you like reasonable explanation oh, you feel angry. Maybe it's because of this. You will be able to find a reason, right? So you won't be controlled by your emotions. Once you know what's causing you these negative feelings, and next time you will be able to avoid those. Because a lot of people keep repeating the same thing, you know. They know this thing, well, subconsciously, they know this thing will make them angry, frustrated, or something like that, but they keep repeating it because at the moment when it's heated, they got controlled by their emotions. They didn't get a chance to really realize what is the real reason that's causing these emotions. So whenever you feel emotions, just ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? And you'll be able to find the reason, and you will be able to in charge again of yourself to fix the problem. The next time you won't feel the same thing. That's my personal tip.
I like that. It's kind of like a step-by-step system to be able to overcome the emotion rather than, just letting it happen, because like you said, the brain and the heart have different functions.
It is.
And
they are.
So when the mind is not being rational about it, it's better to look in your heart to be able to see what's truly going on.
Yeah.
And then try to overcome it by, communicating with both of them.
That's true. That's true. So that's a really good and a useful tools that you can give it a try.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your perspective as well.
You're welcome. So, final point to tell us one more time. Where can we get this wonderful Teapot, Angry Teapot book?
Check it out on Amazon.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Easy to find. Hard book or ebook. Both are $9 something USD online. So you can go check them out.
Yeah, and this book, personally, I think it's very, very good tool to learn English as well. Because it's very straightforward, very simple, but like strong structures and very clear, helping you to express your, writing, improve your thinking too, and help you understand your emotions.
Well, thank you so much for promoting my book, Anita. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
I'll take 50.
All right.
%.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. All right, everybody. Well, we look forward to creating more content like this for you soon. Thank you for tuning in today, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Taiwanica. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.